Well, anytime you drive by a house and it's in poor shape and you had seen what it was before, everyone really feels good about improving a property, bringing it back to all the detail that was had back in the 1880s and also earlier when Frank Hadley had the house.
The first time I toured 169 Main Street, I recognized that this was going to be an exciting project, a challenging project. And for me, it was the opportunity to blend old and new.
So I met Jeff Novak probably around 2020, and it was in really bad shape, and he would constantly drive by the property and he wanted to improve it. It had asbestos shingles on the house. It was really in bad shape. There's a lot of, we call it deferred maintenance, and it really wanted to bring it back to its glory from the pictures that we had found from the Wenham Museum.
We don't know who the end user of this house is, so we wanted to appeal to the masses. It's a cozy house, even though it's an expanse of a house, for sure.
I like the dynamic contrast of the old detailing and the informal detailing. So when we opened the door, I wanted this dynamic contrast to happen where you see all this millwork, the detail of the old house, and then you see a dynamic contrast of a more informal living in the front. And then we took chevron detailing, really focused our energy from the front door. So when as soon as you walk in, you see the bay in the back that leads you to the more informal living. So that was the goal.
I mean, there's very obvious gathering spaces that are meant to be shared by a lot of people. And then there's some intimate spaces that lend itself to some deep thought and private moments. But it's really an overall feeling of warmth. Formal and informal pantries. For someone who appreciates lovely dishes and silver and glass and china, there's all that opportunity to store that in those rooms.
When you go to a historic home, you see a lot of trim, you see a lot of detail, and it breaks up the scale. And then, as you can see, just the natural light, the way it's hitting it, just gives it a lot of depth without a lot of effort.
This project was an incredibly special project, and the thing that stands out to me most about this project was the team that was assembled to work on it. It truly was a pleasure to work with these people, from the architect to the builder to the plumber to the developer to the admin assistant. It was a true collaboration